Good morning. Today we are going to see one of the carbon component of medicine, carbo wedge and carbo animalis, two distinct carbon-based remedies used in homeopathy. While both share the core carbon characteristics of deep exhaustion and poor oxygenation, they target different symptoms and are considered inimical in practice, meaning they should not be taken together or immediately after one another. Key factors. Source material of carbo wedge is prepared from carbonized wood, typically birch or beech. Source material of carbo animalis is prepared from charred ox hide and retains trace of calcium phosphate. The primary focus of carbo wedge is digestive tract, stomach and respiratory system. The primary focus of carbo animalis is lymphatic and glandular system. The signature symptom of carbo wedge is intense abdominal bloating, gas and a desire to be fanned. The signature symptom of carbo animalis is hard, painful, stony swelling of the gland. Mental state: sluggishness, mental confusion, and indifference. Mental state of carbo animalis is painful, intense homesickness, and longing for the past. The detailed overview of carbo wedge. Carbo wedge is often referred to homeopathic circle as a corpse reviver due to its association with the extreme states of low vitality and collapse. Digestive relief. Frequently used to address severe upper abdominal flatulence, gas, constant belching and indigestion. Circulation and respiratory associated with poor venous circulation, cold extremities and air hunger, where the individual feels they cannot get enough oxygen and desperately craves moving air or being fanned. Common use. Readily found as a standalone single medicine, over the counter or integrated into multi-ingredient stomach distress sprays. Detailed overview of carbo animalis. Carbo animalis acts deeper on organic tissue and is predominantly chosen for degenerative, slow or hardened physical condition. Glandular affection. Chosen when lymph nodes or glands such as axillary, groin and mammary glands become highly inflamed, rock hard to touch and slow to heal. Debility. Suited for elder individuals or those heavily broken down by long-term exhausting chronic illness. Common use. Typically used under closer homeopathic constitutional analysis, though single remedy pellets for targeted gas and bloating are commercially produced. Dr. Rajan Shankaran's concept, the vital sensation. Dr. Rajan Shankaran's sensation method classified remedies by natural kingdoms, plant, mineral and animal to pinpoint the core internal delusion or vital sensation of the patient. Carbo vegetable, which is plant kingdom, carbon core. Even though it is carbonized, its botanical lineage is foundational. Shankaran's view, the plant kingdom as defined by sensitivity and reactivity being affected and reacting. For carbo wedge, the sensation is an acute reactive crisis of survival. It represents a state of near extinction or collapse where the system is hypersensitive to lack of life force, that is oxygen. The reaction is a desperate struggle to revive, manifested physically as air hunger and a desire to be fanned. Carbo animalis, animal kingdom influence. Derived from charred animals' tissue, ox hide or bone, this remedy crosses into Shankaran's animal kingdom dynamics, survival, competition, victim versus aggressor, and defense. The vital sensations shift from passive plant-like stagnation to an active feeling of being trapped, attacked, or eaten away from the inside, reflected in deep organic degeneration, heart, tumor-like glands, and septic states. There is a predatory or defensive survival stress underlying the collapse. John Scalton's concept, the element theory. Dr. John Scalton maps the mineral kingdom using the periodic table, defining remedies by their series, horizontal rows indicating themes of life and stages, vertical columns indicating the evolutionary phase of the time. The carbon series core. Both remedies are anchored in the carbon series, row 2, which represents the development of ego, self-worth, identity and existence. Who am I? A crash in this series leads to the total loss of identity and feeling of empty nothingness and vital confusion. The Scalton's classification. Carbo wedge. Scalton treats pure vegetable charcoal as a manifestation of carbon at a point of disintegration in Disintegration. In Scalden's framework, carbon sits at stage 10, the peak of success in selfhood, or stage 14, decay, formal, rigid, losing control, depending on the analysis of its carbonization. Carbo, which represents the loss of the ego protective barrier, the identity is burning out, scattered like ashes, and loses its vital boundary. Carbo animalis contains pure carbon bound with a trace of oxygenic calcium phosphate Ca3PO4 twice from bone. Scalden analyzes compound remedies by combining element themes. Carbo animalis brings in the calcium element of row 4 security protection of home and phosphorus element row 3 communication, friends and sympathy. Thus carbo animalis represents an ego identity crisis. Carbon directly linked to a loss of security and protection. Calcium manifesting as deep painful homesickness, isolation and defensive hardening of tissue. In the quantum physics dimension concept in modern homeopathic theory, referring to the pioneers like Farooq Master or advanced quantum resonance model, potentized remedies act as non-local informational signals rather than chemical mass. Entropic collapse, carbovich. From a quantum perspective, carbovich represents a state of maximum entropy, a breakdown of cellular coherence where the bioenergetic field can no longer sustain organization or exchange energy efficiently with its environment. The remedy acts as a quantum catalyst to re-establish the dynamic equilibrium, that is homeodynamics of oxygen energy transport across cellular dimension. Quantum entanglement and condensation of carbo animalis. Carbo animalis represents energy that has become densified or condensed. Instead of depressing like carbovich, the energetic block in carbo animalis retreats inward, creating a highly localized dense distortion in the body's morphic field. This quantum density physically manifests as stony, impenetrable glandular induration, the block the normal flow of vital force. The evolutionary concept. This concept looks at the remedies as a timeline of life and consciousness evolution on Earth. Carbovich plant evolution represents a more primitive evolutionary response to trauma, stagnation, decay, fermentation, and slowing down to zero to preserve energy. It is the plant that quietly suffocates or undergoes anaerobic breakdown when light and air are cut off. Carbo animalis, the animal evolution, represents a higher, more complex evolutionary tier. When an animal structure faces death and degeneration, it does not just decay. It fights back, walls itself off, and hardens its defenses. The evolutionary trauma here involves the nervous system, blood, and lymphatic processing deep-seated destructive pathologies. In daily life, the practical utility of charcoal, carbo animalis, and carbovich varies dramatically, while standard activated charcoal is highly common household product. Carbo animalis and carbovich are specialized and reserved for medical and homeopathic environment. Common charcoal, activated carbon or wood charcoal. Activated charcoal is an exceptionally common material widely used in consumer goods due to its massive surface area and ability to chemically bind or absorb toxins and impurity. Water filtration, it serves as a primary component in household water filter, fixtures, and under-sink filtration system to trap volatile organic compounds, chlorine, and odor. Air purifying. Small canvas pouches containing charcoal are commonly used in daily life to absorb ambient odors and excess moisture in closet, cars, and refrigerator. Emergency medicine. Kept on hand in emergency rooms in veterinary clinics as a life-saving gastrointestinal decontamination agent to bind ingested poison or accidental drug overdose. Personal care. It is a regular additive in everyday personal care system, including exfoliating face washes, deep cleansing soaps, and gritty charcoal toothpaste meant to scrub away dental surface stains. Digestive care. Over-the-counter charcoal capsules are routinely taken as a dietary supplement to manage acute intestinal gas, bloating, and diarrhea. Carbogen, that is carbon dioxide gas mixture. Carbogen is a specialized medical grade gas mixture typically containing 95% of oxygen and 5% of carbon dioxide and is not something utilized in standard household routine. Its day-to-day applications are strictly confined to clinical healthcare and research setting. Emergency respiratory stimulant, the oxygen. The 5% carbon dioxide reacts as a trigger to stimulate the brain's respiratory center, causing the patient to breathe deeper. It is used daily in hospital to reverse sudden breathing cessation, apnea, or manage airway obstruction. Ocular and ear emergencies, administered via a breathing mask as a early intervention for central retinal artery occlusion, an eye stroke, or sudden sensorineural hearing loss, to rapidly widen local blood vessel and flood ischemic tissues with oxygen. Cancer treatment enhancer, utilized daily in oncological department as radiosensitizer, inhaled by patients during radiation therapy to increase tumor oxygenation, making malignant cells significantly easier to destroy. Laboratory biological research, used constantly in scientific labs to stabilize pH and provide vital gas concentration for growing aerobic bacteria or maintaining living brain slices for study. Carbo animalis, animal charcoal, homeopathic preparation. In industrial and daily chemical settings, animal charcoal, historically used for colorizing sugar or processing liquids, has largely been replaced by modern activated vegetable carbon. Today, its primary day-to-day interference is an specific homeopathic remedy. Homeopathic first aid, purchased in health food stores as over-the-counter micropillet, it is used by individuals to address sluggish digestion, upper stomach flatulence, or sore belching. Chronic tissue care, applied in alternative medicine settings for constitutional support in individuals dealing with hardened, slow to heal, or chronically inflamed lymph nodes and glands. More advanced uses of carbon, the consumer's electronic and renewable energy. Advanced ultra-porous charcoal operate quietly inside modern electronics to store power and manage energy efficiently. Supercapacitors for fast charging, high-end smartphones, electric vehicles, EVs, and cordless power tools use activated carbon with surface areas exceeding 1,500 meter square per G. This allows devices to absorb and release electrical energy almost instantly, enabling rapid charging cycles. Next generation battery and anodes, premium lithium-ion and emerging sodium-ion batteries utilize carbonized agricultural material engineered by Bioclar to replace traditional graphite. This structural shift enhances battery lifespan, stability, and charging capacity. Edible electronics, advanced medical diagnostic utilize specialized biocompatible activated carbons to create temporary edible electronic sensors that safely track gastrointestinal health from inside the body. High performance smart textile. The textile industry embeds micro milled charcoal particles directly into synthetic and natural fibers to achieve advanced fabric properties. Infrared thermal insulation, winter apparel and high performance bedding feature embedded bamboo biocare. The micro particles create a thermal barrier that captures the body's natural far infrared radiation, reflecting heat back to the skin while maintaining breathability. Permanent anti-odor fabrics, unlike chemical sprays that washes out, athletic apparel brands weave charcoal directly into the yarn matrix. It continuously absorbs volatile organic compounds, sweat molecules, and dampens moisture. Smart home tech and food preservatives. Beyond basic filtration, charcoals are engineered into materials to dynamically regulate interior home and kitchen environment. Ethylene absorbing packaging, specialized refrigerator drawer liners, and high-tech food storage containers incorporate biochar to absorb ethylene gas, the natural hormone that causes fruit and vegetable to ripen and spoil. This technique efficiently doubles the shelf life of fresh produce. Carbon negative building material. Modern eco-friendly home construction increasingly relies on concrete, drywall, and plastic blended with stable biochar. This traps atmospheric carbon inside the walls of the house for decades while providing superior lightweight insulation. Advanced clinical application. In modern medical settings, specialized charcoal treats systemic health conditions externally and internally. Advanced wound care mating. Modern chemical bandages utilize carbon cloth overlays to dress chronic or infected wounds. The charcoal layer physically pulls bacteria and endotoxins away from flesh, significantly reducing localized inflammation and accelerating cellular healing. Targeted microcapsule drug delivery. Pharmaceutical developers utilize custom poured activated carbon to shield delicate medication through the stomach, harsh acid environment, facilitating a controlled slow release once the drug reaches the lower intestine.